I'm gonna completely blow your mind in this video. And comment a little sunflower emoji down below because I'm about to change your life and your perspective in this video and show you exactly how and why you have attracted certain things into your reality up and until this point in time. And just so you know that I'm not some Dr. Quack, I've literally helped facilitate over 2,000 manifestation results in the past 2.5 years alone with myself and my team. I'm talking about some clients reaching billionaire status success, healing from life-threatening illnesses, cancer, and even blindness, manifesting in their soulmates in 90 days or less, and crazy, crazy things. And it's all because they mastered universal law. So let's start at the top. Why is it that we attract negative situations into our lives? Well, it starts back by understanding that we are always attracting based on our state of being, our state. So why is it that a narcissist doesn't necessarily attract a narcissist attracts their prey? That's because the person, right, if you were to think about the opposite end of the stick, the woman or the man in question that is being on the receiving end of that narcissist has crippling self-worth issues and therefore attracts someone where they're going to have to work extra hard to prove their self-worth to be able to be with this person. So we always attract based on our childhood trauma. If we feel like we're not good enough, we're going to attract people that make us feel not good enough. If we feel like we're not worthy, we're not wanted, we're not chosen, we're not special, we're going to attract people, places, and situations that make us perform for that validation because we didn't get it. If we didn't get validation from our parents, we're going to attract people that don't give us validation in those relationships. We're going to attract job environments that continue to treat us like how our parents did by dismissing us and all these other things. Our life we have not been brought to certain areas of our life by accident. We've been brought to those certain areas so that we can learn lessons and evolve as a humankind species. So if you're still in a pattern of attracting emotionally unavailable people, it's because you have not healed the pattern that is there, which is why you keep getting it. If you're still in a situation where no matter how hard you try in your business, you can't hit $40,000 and $50,000 months, it's because you have not actually healed that situation. Therefore, you're not able to go ahead. Life will give you glass ceilings based on your level of psychological wounding. And once you heal and evolve out of that psychological wounding, that's when you get to go to the next level, not before. So, the problem, I shouldn't say the problem, but the thing that a lot of people need to understand is we don't get to choose how life hurts us. But life will always mirror back to us the part of us internally that is still hurting. If I still hold a thing within me that makes me feel like I'm not good enough, I'm going to continue to attract people, places, and situations that make me feel not good enough. Not because God doesn't love me, not because the universe is against me, not because the system is rigged, but because that is what I'm putting out into the universe, so that is what I must get back. You see what I mean? Does this make sense to you? So I want you to imagine these are the top psychological wounds people come to me with. Not worthy, not wanted, not chosen, not special, not important. Everybody has probably felt not good enough at one point in time or another with somebody or another, right? So let's say we all have a not good enough wound, all right? And it's all active right now for the people that are on this, I was about to say video, on this video, on this call, however you want to put it right now. Okay, so the way that it might push out for me is that I may be attracted to situations where I always feel like I have to work for my parents' approval, because not getting primary caregiver validation has been very impactful in my life. Versus somebody else, they're gonna have it pushed out in their life via Everyone Is You pushed out in a very different way. They're gonna end up attracting infidelity maybe because that's gonna prove to them, that's a situation that would prove to them that they're not good enough. For somebody else, it might push out in the form of a best friend of like 10, 12, 15, 100 million years backstabbing them, or sleeping with their partner, or having an affair with the next door neighbor's cat. For somebody else, it might push out in the form of always having to slave away in their career to climb that ladder, but never being able to be successful. For somebody else, it might be never being able to hit their true income goal because they need the evidence to be able to validate that they're not good enough. So they continue to hit these glass ceilings without ever being able to push through and go ahead. So I essentially want you to imagine that we're playing the biggest Go Fish game with the universe, where there's probably like 100 trillion people, places, situations, and opportunities to make one feel like they're not good enough. But you don't get to say, hey, put me down for cheating. Hey, put me down for mommy and daddy issues. We don't get to say that. But we will always attract a situation that validates the part that is still hurting in us. We will always attract a situation that validates the part that's still hurting in us, the story that's still in our subconscious mind. We will never get something that is random or outside of that. It's not until you learn to identify the exact parts of you, the exact stories within your subconscious mind, because here's the thing, your subconscious mind controls 95% of your reality. When I learned that, all I cared about was learning about the subconscious mind, because I want to work on the thing that's going to impact 95% of change of this bullshit right here. And I became committed to it. And as someone with a degree in general surgery, I think that my page is probably the best place for you to go start binge watching all 600 videos on how to change this. But the first step that you need to understand for this video is you need to start to identify what are your stories that you tell yourself when the particular area of your life that you want change doesn't work out for you. Do you go into self-loathing, self-criticism, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not wanted, I'm not chosen? Or do you go into blaming the world? Money is bad, people are evil, men are liars, women are cheaters. Who do you end up blaming? I'll tell you this right now, it's going to blow your mind. From a psychological standpoint, if you have low self-worth, you will always end up blaming yourself. And some of you people in this video might not even identify with the fact that you might have low self-worth, but the brain will always seek to find a source of the pain. What is the source of the pain? Why? Because on a psychological and neuroscience standpoint, it wants to be able to protect itself from getting hurt again. So when you get let down, when you get disappointed, when you become miserable, when certain situations happen that don't go your way, where does your brain go? And if you have lower self-worth, you will always, always, always end up attacking yourself, because you will not see the things outside of you as, how do I say, incompetent. I'll give you an example with one of my clients this week. A lot of my clients this week have been having mother and father issues, woundings from their childhood that are still affecting them into their 40s. And it's blocking their money, it's blocking their business, it's blocking their love, it's even blocking their health. One of them just got surgery to be able to take out like a mass out of their body. And that's because the body keeps score. We hold emotional trauma in our body, and it's literally, in some instances, a life or death situation to start to face this stuff and wake up. So they had mother and father issues, right? And I'll use one of the girls in a specific example, that because she never got the validation from mom or dad as a youth, she's continued to search for it in her life, in her work, in her family, in other areas of life, and it's still impacting her to this day. So when she's faced with a confronting situation, her brain will go to, I'm not good enough. Why? Because she sees her parents as competent and capable of giving validation, because they give validation to her sister, but not to her. And so because we oftentimes don't see the party we are seeking validation from as incompetent or incapable, it means 99% of the people that would identify as an overgiver, overachiever, perfectionist, type A, that they work or perform for other people's validation for their own self-worth, because it's not fully solid within themselves. So they need to be able to get it from other people in order to be able to have it within themselves. But as soon as that person pulls it away, they can't really fully identify with it, because it's not fully locked in for themselves, because they don't fully believe it. In that type of situation, guess what happens? She doesn't see her parents as incompetent or incapable. They do it for other people, but they don't do it for her. So why? It means that she's not good enough. It means she's defective. It means that she's not valuable. It means she's not heard. She's not seen. She's not wanted. She's not special. She's not important. Identify the subconscious stories that are keeping you at your glass ceiling in any area of your life. And you got to start to shift these. You got to start to challenge the story. You got to start to argue for the other end of the stick. You've got to start to regulate your nervous system. You've got to start to revalidate yourself. Because once you shift that, every result you've ever wanted will be in your lap within weeks. Mark my words.